thanks to Vicky and GiGL for inviting us to join this, because most of you are about biodiversity, we're about geodiversity. And it's all part of the same network, and I was very pleased to see one of your slides mentioning geodiversity. And Sarah came and spoke to our action plan meeting recently, and we want to engage with the whole process as well. But the other thing is that one of the things that came out of our action plan meeting is how important it is for us to involve ourselves with other groups, and particularly the wildlife groups. We work quite closely with the London Natural History Society. We lead a joint walk every year, and I'll come on to some other things, but we would very much like you to be involved with us, and we can share things, and it seems an important way forward. So what we're about, initially when I joined about 2010, something like that, we were in the process of identifying sites. In the first tranche, there were about 38 sites. We now have 80. And what we did in the initial thing, the British Geological Survey were involved in finding the sites before I was involved, and it was to find something from all the different geological strata within the London area. Since then, what we've tried to do is to get some geology into each of the boroughs. And then, having identified it, one of the important things that we need to do is to conserve it. And here we do have a little bit of a clash quite often with the wildlife people. I'll come on to that. And the third thing is to interpret. And one of the ways we interpret most is by the geotrails. So these are our sites in the boroughs, and you can see the boroughs up to the northwest and the southeast are the ones that we got the most sites in, and that's because of the geology. The geology there is more interesting. It goes down to the chalk, and so we take advantage of that. The bit in the middle, I was looking at it just now, it sort of broadly follows the route of the Thames, where we've got gravels on the top and not solid geology, and they're least represented. We do have now something in most of the boroughs. We've got something called, well, to start with, we inherited the sites of scientific interest for the geology, and we've subsequently put in regional geology, which is important for the whole area, the most important sites in the whole area. And then the locally important is the most important sites in the London area. And finally, what we did is sites of geological interest, which sort of have some historic connotations. The most recent one we've agreed just on Thursday to include is the new Evolution Garden in the Natural History Museum. If you've not seen it, I recommend it. It's fantastic. We've got something like 40 different rock types there, and it's beautifully displayed, and there's the wildlife garden beyond that, where there's a lot to see. So conservation, we concentrate on the Riddlesdown quarry, the one on the top right, which is our biggest quarry. It's a massive chalk quarry, but the birch trees grow very fast, and we hack them down, we make the faces visible, but we try and put some of the timber out in the centre. We have goats who are helping us conserve there, and it's with the City of London and the rangers there organise these days. The other big place is Gilbert's Pit, which is very important for engineers, because we've got this strange Lambeth group, which is very variable and causes huge problems from the Brunels onwards, trying to under the tunnel. And so you can see it at Gilbert's Pit. So we've created, with the help of Natural England, we've created the steps up to the area of interest to see that up the slope. Harefield is a problem because of the badgers, and we've not been able to conserve it until recently, but now we do have permission from Natural England to conserve at least the access. We don't think we're disturbing the badgers, but it has been a bit of a problem. And a place that we'd like to conserve in the future is Crystal Palace, because the wonderful, from the 1850s, wonderful beasts there, mostly dinosaurs, but other marine animals, they've been very overgrown by the planting that was done in 2000. It's a great shame, but we want to get in there and help. Tripcock Ness is it's just the access to the submerged forest. And then we want to interpret, and I mentioned geotrails, but we had a little exhibition in Highgate Woods, but they've recently installed the Roman pottery there, and we've been shoved into sort of panels on the outside, these sort of swing panels. That, we want to try and get that back again, but that was one of our successes. And we do have a few boards. The Ice Age boulder brought to Essex that's in Bedford's Park in northeast London, and that was definitely a success story. We found it in a quarry, and had it. They were finishing quarrying, and the contractors took it up there, and Essex Wildlife Trust agreed to house it, and they've made a board and everything. So we've been working with other groups there. And then we were asked to help reinstate Constable's Pond, Branch Hill. And we've been involved with artists, and artist Dee McLean, she's done a lovely book on Hampstead Heath, and she did panels. We had an exhibition, and the panels are on our website to see, and that's been a big success. And the pond just filled up when it had a thunderstorm, and we're going to line it. We didn't have to. And then we've been working with another artist, particularly Gail Dickerson, who wants the pigment for her artworks, and she involved us in Rockingham Anomaly, which is peat, and she organised augurs for us, and she invited us to have a little exhibit of the geology along with her artworks. And more recently, she's got specimens from the Thames Tideway tunnel under the Thames for the sewer, and she's been working with the geologists, and she uses the pigments again. And we had an exhibition in the Climate Hub in Wandsworth a couple of years ago now. And other exhibitions, she's just done one in the Brunel, but she's involved sediments, and it's a lovely collaboration because we're getting to a new audience, and we're really happy about it. And we have other artists. One who's working on London clay, and it's maybe a nice bracelet I was going to put it on. And another one who's working again with London clay on making tiles using clay from the TFL and repurposing them. So it's all about recycling material. So we're very grateful to all of those people for this. But the geotrails is what we do most, and we do 2 a year. One that we organise ourselves. One to coincide with Geo Week in May, and the other one in the autumn, which we do with the London Natural History Society to celebrate International Geodiversity Day on the 6th of October and Earth Science Week there. But we have others, and they're on our website. Do pick up leaflets. We've got a display there, and pick up leaflets about it. GiGL published an article in their magazine, and we've got it reproduced out there, so do take that. And it's got our website, and you can see, welcome to do any of the walks. And if any of you want us to lead walks in your area, we're up for it. We do, Friends of Coleful Wood, Heath Hands, Friends of Queenswood. We do quite a lot of these things, and we'd be happy to be involved. We like the partnership. Feel free to ask. Great.